The Disability Rights Act was passed by the National Assembly in January 2019 after several years of advocacy by disability rights activists. However, the legislation has not been fully enforced until now. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation says the enactment and implementation of the Disability Act is a deliberate collection of data of persons with disability, adding that the Act covers a wide array of rights, including the prohibition of discrimination against persons with disability in various sectors such as education, employment, healthcare, and public transportation. However, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation further called on speakers at the State House of Assembly to domesticate the act.
The Disability Act has made provisions to prohibit all forms of discrimination, marginalization, and abuse of persons with disability. The government is already putting in place mechanisms to establish an access to work scheme for persons with disability. We're challenging all the speakers and the state houses of assembly to quickly swing into action, working with the executive to domesticate this act.
Executive Secretary, National Commissions for Persons with Disability (NCPWD) explained that the act is aimed at eradicating discrimination and ensure equal opportunities for every citizen, irrespective of their physical or mental abilities, adding that the Commission is transiting from the era of advocacy to the era of enforcement to ensure the provisions of the law are properly enforced.
The era of enforcement is here. By January, the Commission is expected to move out in full force to make sure that the provisions of the law are properly enforced. The Commission will start meeting with its own partners, compose the task force immediately before this Christmas. Everything will be on ground before the roundup of this year, so that as we come early next year, the task force will be inaugurated. Immediately after inaugurating the task force, immediately by the time on the 16th of January 2024, our assessment may not only end on the physical facilities, but the composition of the staff in these institutions. We want to know how many they have as persons with disabilities, the total number of the staff in these institutions, and then the maintenance of the 5% in these institutions. So we have to find out all of this so that we can be able to know whether they comply with
The House Committee Chairman on Disability, Honorable Bashir Daudu, shed light on sanctions on the discrimination of persons with disability and proposed establishment of a university for the deaf in Nigeria.
It is the law of Nigeria that if you discriminate against a person with disability, there are sanctions. If you approve a building without following the code, you can be imprisoned for that. All persons with disability must be insured with the NHIS. We're looking at the bill to set up a deaf university.
It is expected that the Enforcement Act passed into law will enhance the inclusion and accessibility of persons living with disability in Nigeria. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.